Welcome everyone. Today is Mind Culture Podcast and we have Sabine Maringer from Vienna, and she is the founder of many things, among which there is Belle Etage and Tête-à-Tête and Show
Salon.
Salon education program. So she does street theater as well as education, as well as recently cultural management, and we're gonna go in this direction as well. So maybe you tell me a little bit about the scope of your activities, because I am when I was trying to find out information about what you do, I was just clicking from one thing to another thing to another thing to another thing to another thing. So I'm just wondering if you could just briefly tell me, like, what is your pathway?
My path. Basically I come from theater. So I quit school when I was 17 and I started to work in a small Viennese theater as a light technician assistant. And from there on, I was basically in theater the last 22 years. But in 2004, I met a German street theater company called Antagon on a very freaky festival in the docks of Amsterdam, Robot Dock. And I fell in love with this, for me, totally new form of theater. It was a mix of, I don't know, hippie, Mad Max, acrobatics, like things I have never seen before. And during this time, I was a little bit searching for a new direction for my life. And I made a decision to leave Vienna and to go to Frankfurt. And so there I got in touch with street theater, basically. And yeah. Then during being there and traveling the world with this really big group, so there are 3 big groups in Germany still. We were traveling the world with around 20 people on plane or on a big bus all together. And yeah, it was amazing. Hard work. We were working 24/7. Every day, every week, the whole year. So, yeah.
So you fell in love with this certain kind of lifestyle as well?
Yes. I think I smelled the taste of freedom and artistic expression in one thing. So yeah, it was hard work, but I kind of felt free. Yeah, I was not connected to a 9-to-5 job, even though we worked harder than people having a 9-to-5 job. Yeah. And then I had the feeling that I need to get some education. And I went to Heidelberg and I got trained as a theater teacher. I made my diploma, and during that time, I missed street theater really much, and I felt that I want to go back to the streets, but with my own company. And when I came back to Vienna, I founded Belle Etage Street Theater. And the last 10 years, I constantly worked on growing with this business in the industry. And yeah, and at some point I felt, it's fun, street theater, but I need more knowledge about the management of such a business. And therefore I made my certificate in cultural management.
Right.
Yes.
So very natural development.
Yeah, totally natural. And then I felt like I was, year by year, I was more and more connected with like lobbying for the arts industry, and therefore I felt I need to have more power within my voice I need to have more recognition, and what you need in Austria or Europe is you have to have some kind of degree of a university, and then I made my Master of Arts in Performing Public Space in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, now I'm here. Yes. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, what is so great about street theater that you love so much? Because for me, like, well, I find it really interesting world, but again, a very different world to what I'm familiar with. Because although I have a lot of, with our company, Body Architects, I have a lot of performances that happen in urban space,
Yeah.
outside space, but I feel it's a bit different than the general ethos of street theater, and I just would like you to tell me a little bit more what it is. I mean, is it something that is in any way related to the tradition of traveling circus, or what is this? What is this for you?
For me,
Yeah.
many things. One is that you are basically your own boss. So on the one hand, it makes it harder because you have to survive in this industry. That means that we are not connected to any kind of funds or fund system or whatever. So what we earn is what we earn.
So it's basking.
In the beginning with Antagon, we were paid because our shows costs around 15 to 20,000 euros one show because it was so huge. So we performed also for 5 to up to 15,000 people at once. So okay, this is another sector. These really big shows. So and with Belletage, in the beginning I was busking. But now I get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
It changed. It changed.
But you like able to sell the shows to venues or to festivals, or it's more like you get production also?
No,
I
sell a product. Basically.
Right.
Yes.
So then it's very similar to what I do as well.
I sell a product. Yeah. So basically, I sell a product and I'm free to create this product. I already learned that my freedom is a little bit limited because there is a need from the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to somehow try to match this need, my need and the need of the industry to really sell my product. So it's
right.
Yeah.
And what is the, so for example, your situation as so you're a creator.
Yeah.
If you create, because I also struggle with this quite a bit. Like I know that there are certain popular topics.
Yeah.
And I know that there are some, like I cannot make a maybe performance about bicycles or about, I don't know, reading. That would be a little bit, not contemporary enough. Do you also deal with certain things like this in the street theater?
Yeah. So if you want, there are two different ways to enter. One is you create whatever you want, and if you're lucky, you find bookers who want to book that. On the other hand, it's the way I did it is to screen the recent situation of the industry. So when I'm on a festival, I check the program and then I see what's popular, which kind of circus styles or artistic handwriting, and then I check other festivals, and then I talk to the bookers and their needs, and because you have to know if you a freelancer, a street theater company, you apply for a festival with other 1,000 people. And then they make a selection. The jugglers, the unicycles, the acrobatics, the theater, the comedy. The male, the mix, and the female shows. So a lot of men do juggling in comedy or unicycle in comedy. A lot of men do clowns. The mix are dance or acrobatic, and the female do hula hoop or and then the group shows do the fire shows and so on. And for me to have a niche where I have it easier to enter the program. So the people work with what is it's the retro style of the look of the show. Okay, everybody's retro style, so I will not use retro style. They all use I don't know what, let's say buckets. I will not use buckets. So I make this list, and then I ask myself, okay, what are you interested in? And then I see, and then I check if there is like a way to enter or yeah. And I feel like with this, with our new performance, I found the way in because it was very easy to sell it, even though it was not created. I just sold the idea of it, and I immediately got invited to Armenia to a really good festival. So yeah.
Wow, I am really learning something today. Because as a choreographer, I'm open to work on any topic. To be very honest, like there are some people that are really driven by a certain topic or certain issues, but I don't know. I've never been like this. I like to do anything. I have certain interests, but I don't mind, making a piece about fish, for example. Like there's no problem. Like if you give me a topic, I can do it. So this kind of approach I can totally relate to, but I haven't cracked it yet. But maybe it's also because the reality of creating avant-garde dance is also is the topics within the avant-garde dance are even, I think, a little bit more constricted than within the circus arts.
Yeah.
But
I have to say, with the project Belletage, I really tried to think like a businesswoman and not like an artist. The projects I do with Performanceative, which you were mentioning before, there I try to think like an artist. Yeah.
So you have like one side, so you have two projects, and one is commercial, one is artistic.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But commercially, I'm.
But this is artistic, still artistic.
It's still artistic, but it's more. I more check the actual situation of the industry, and then I fit it in. I mean, I think, because we have no funds, we cannot rely on money from government or state. So I need to make money, I put a lot of money in the production of this performance, and then I need to sell it for 10 years.
Right.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit how it works so first of all, is it street theater or is it circus? Like, how is it? What is the difference? What is the thing that you're doing?
Yeah. Interesting. I think we use circus skills or a circus-ish language to do street theater.
Which is?
The language?
No, what is the street theater?
The street theater is the characters, the structure maybe of the performance. This I would say is the theatrical part. But the routines are kind of circus-ish looking.
Okay.
Style.
So there is some certain kind of artistry involved, certain kind of skill.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. But I try to reduce it because this needs training, and and a certain physicality.
Right.
And I feel like if I want to perform this show 20 weekends, every weekend 6 to 9 times, and I'm 39, do I really want to do it? And the answer is no. So that's why I try to have more theater in it and less artistic parts, so I'm not ruining myself during the summer season.
Yeah, of course. This makes a lot of sense. You don't wanna, you don't wanna injure yourself. Then you are not able to work.
Yeah,
And also, if you're a maker,
yeah,
maybe there's some other people that can do that. Of course.
of course. There are young people. They should do it. When I was young, I did it.
Got it.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me how, because you mentioned a little bit I don't know, we're talking business today, I think. I have the feeling.
Yeah,
it leans in this direction. But my question to you is, so you say that there is no funding structure for this kind of performance?
Yeah. True.
In Austria in general?
In Austria.
In Austria.
In Austria. Street theater, or let's say theater in public spaces, needs to be seen with different lenses in different countries. So, as we all know, France has a very good system to fund arts in general, so also for street theater. In the Netherlands, it's different. I know from Switzerland it's different. Germany, no.
It's tricky in Germany.
It's tricky in Germany. No.
And it's trickier in Austria.
It's impossible in Austria. So.
But I heard that there is a division of what is this called? The federal government, the Ministry of Culture that is dedicated towards creating circus.
Yeah, circus, yes.
Circus. Which is different than street theater.
Yeah.
Which is, street theater is more like, less circus, you say.
Yeah,
Or,
if I want to ask for funding for a street theater thing, it's not good when it looks like street theater. It needs to look like circus or theater for young people, because still yet curators, funders think street theater is entertainment and not art. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many, so many names for the performative arts.
Yeah.
And I think, some of them are already so defined that it's really difficult to go with something like you do.
Yeah.
And to try to,
Yeah.
I understand that. Especially like nowadays in Vienna, it's also with dance in general. Like if it's moving too much, then it's already supposed to go into category of dance for young audience.
I see.
I mean, that's what I mean, it's my personal interpretation, but it's usually like the only moving pieces, except maybe of one choreographer. The only moving pieces by young artists are those that fall into category of children performance, and that's I find a bit strange, because dance is dance is dance. Dance is supposed to move, but I feel that there is it's a similarity there.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, what is the process like of you selling your work? Because I'm really curious. I never did this business. Yeah. I do festivals. I do, I know I have my little network of festivals that I am in touch with.
Yeah.
But these are happening usually in the theater. and I know how it works. I wonder how it works with your festival. How do you find them? How do you?
Okay.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, tell me some secrets about this.
Yeah, I'll tell you. No. Okay. We go 1 year round, and we start in May. So season is on, and I'm traveling with my show around the world, Europe, wherever I'm booked, and we talk to each other. After the shows, we talk to each other, and I listen really careful when the people talk about their past or upcoming festivals, and I make notes. Okay, do I know this festival or not? And I make notes, and I scan social media during summer season 2-3 times a day to check posts of other performers. So this I do from May to, let's say, September, and then I have between 100 and 200 new festivals each year.
New festivals,
because there are festivals that stopped and new festivals which have started in this specific season. So okay, and then I from September to mid of November I'm on the computer doing my research. I have a list of hundreds of festivals from all over the world. And then basically from November to February, I'm sitting in front of the computer and writing my application. So some you like do it because you have like an open call, or some you just write. Or what I also do is during the summer, I talk to other people and maybe make my first connections to some bookers, or more or less, or sometimes I have leftovers from this season. So things that we couldn't manage because I was already booked or they were already full, but they would like to see me in the next festival. So okay. So I'm sitting in front of the computer all the time and working on my PR, on the videos and whatever. And then it's so I write between 400 and 1,000 applications each winter.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I thought that. Oh God.
No, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
God. Oh, now I know where is the. I figured it out because I do only 200.
200. 200. I mean 202 in 1 day. No. Yeah.
No, but I'm not counting the personal emails. Maybe 400 max a year. But you say 4,000?
No, 1,000.
1,000.
I'm so sick of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you do it within this 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is for this year or for the next year? Usually it's from the year after, right?
No, it's like, in 2020 I would write for 2021.
Okay.
So always for the next round.
And this works?
Yeah, it's like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then basically from February to beginning of May, it's like time for rehearsing, time for planning the tour, time to get everything done. And then again. And then I sit in the car. I'm an office worker and a truck driver, and in between I do shows. Yeah, okay. I need to go to the festivals also, like 700 kilometers, 1,400 in the car.
So you don't fly?
No.
Why?
Yes, I fly, but...
Too many things?
Yes, not often. I mean... more or less, because I mean, from Europe, I can travel in Europe by car. And there are, for me, 3 festivals a year where I fly. Or 4, yes.
And how is it like? So do you do so? Because I had this one plan that I'm trying to realize is to have like several shows that are booked and to have some basking shows in between. Do you also do things like this?
Forget it.
No.
No.
Why? Not no.
Basically, basically, it will not gonna work because the restrictions are like hard.
So from a festival side, restrictions.
No, from the town.
Ah.
From the town. So during the festival, there's no busking allowed because there's a festival.
Right.
And then each country, each city has a different law. And sometimes you have to apply ahead, like in Croatia, on the seaside, you just can't come and perform. You have to apply 3 months ahead to come there. And in Austria, you have to buy tickets, you have to get tickets in the Magistrat, and Germany, they start to ban busking
Oh, really?
from the city centers. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I learned something more again.
Yeah, busking is begging, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
No, I mean not for me, but for the government of the towns and of the cities. It's busking is basically begging, and yeah.
So okay, so from the government perspective, it's like
Yeah, from the
it's like
government
begging,
perspective,
yeah.
it's begging, and it's a tendency that okay, we work in the public space, and it's a space where politics, economy fight to be placed, to get a place there. So, and then the artists come and they also want to play. The public space is a very interesting space for making politics and for the economy. So it's a place where you can place commercial. So, and also it's a place to make money, basically. When you see the city centers are full of shops and restaurants and billboards, and then there is also the buskers who want to work there. And I feel like all the people who have the shops there and the restaurants, they feel that we interfere too much within their business. So, yeah.
Unless a city is relying on busking as a certain kind of attraction. I would say, for example, Lisbon is no. Seems like one of the cities that is
cities relied on busking.
not rely, but for it is a part of. So if a city is focused on tourism,
Yeah.
so then that could be an interesting offering from a city perspective to
Basically.
bring in more guests to the city.
Yeah. Would be a good idea if they would have understood till now that busking makes the city safer, brings more tourists, and raises the positive energy in a city center. Because there is research about how busking changes the actual atmosphere, so less crime, less stress. But yeah, basically the mayors haven't understood that yet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sad.
Yeah.
I wish, because I rarely see anyone in Vienna doing it.
Yeah, because it's so hard to get a ticket. So I'm also on the board of the IG Kultur Wien, and we are since 3 years trying to change this law. Now it's like this, that one person who has no idea of the needs of a certain style of performance gives you a place to perform, so you can't choose. And then you need like the city center for your show, because it's a high energy show, and it's just working if you have like your 500-600 people in a circle. And they don't understand that when they put you to Prater, it makes no sense. So, or they put a solo musician on a huge space. But probably this musician needs more a cozy, good-looking corner to gather the energy, to close the walls behind his audience, to create a certain feeling of being on a stage. Like, and for one single guitar player on Stephansplatz, it might be really hard, like, to create this atmosphere.
Because you're not gonna hear anything. Also.
Yeah, but I think when you perform on the street, you need also walls and theater house. Like if you perform indoors, you have it easy because you have the stage, people come, people take a seat, and then it's silence, attention. And because it's closed, you already have a kind of focus. But when you are performing on the street, you need to create all of this. You need to place the people, give them a seat. You need to create the walls of your theater. You need to create your stage, and you need to create this focus.
So what are the strategies to do that? Like how do you create a focus? I mean, I could understand, like, okay, if you have loud music, that could be one thing. But what are the other less maybe obvious ways to gather people's attention? I'm very curious because it's something that I've been interested in. I never really went in this direction, but I'm kind of interested. How do you?
I cannot talk about it in general because every show needs a specific space, a specific spatial condition to work the best and to create this focus. Let's say, okay, my past performance was very poetic. We needed a lot of concentration and focus. It was not loud. It was silent. We didn't speak to the audience. And the story was between heartbreaking and like a fairy tale, something like this. And if you would place me now on the Stephansplatz, where I have no backdrop, like this huge open space, I would have no tools within my show to create this focus we speak about. But I figured out that we need to feel the performance ourselves. We need nice architecture in the back, like old houses or a church or a nice fountain. We need a square which already brings like a calm environment a little bit. So we don't have to fight so much for the calmness. But basically it's before I make my step on my stage, I need to change my inner energy mode from daily to show. So, and for this show, it's calmness, it's poetic. So I will not run, I will not be loud, I will not be stressed. So in a moment I step on the stage and it's basically me how to say, it's basically me filling the space already with this calmness. And also my interaction with the audience in the beginning, where I set my stage, is calm. So my communication is peace and not high energy. So, and then it's also, of course, the music. And I think everything together, how I behave, which certain emotion, feeling I'm transporting, this changes the space. And of course, there are certain things I need to do. I need to close my theater walls to gather this energy. You know, if there is space in between my audience members, the energy can go. So I need the energy to close. So I do not need to fill the entire space with my energy, but just the stage and So yeah. Yes.
So for example, okay, but then how do I know that you have a performance if the audience is not standing there already? So I'm curious about this first moment. Like, if I'm going to, how do I tell you that I'm performing? Except, okay, I have music. That's one thing. I was just thinking maybe I have costume. That's maybe another thing. And maybe I have some object. Maybe that's another thing. But then still, is it enough for the people to know that you're performing for them? So I'm just wondering, without shouting, hey, I'm performing, how do you...
Do we talk from busking, from free busking, or do we talk festival situation?
Yeah, that's another question. I think both. I'm curious for both. Okay, is it different? Yeah, because if it's is it street theater, then they come intentionally already there.
Yeah.
So they're already there.
I mean, they are already there. They have a program, and they know you will perform at this time at this place.
So you don't have to. Okay.
You have, but it's different because more or less you need to fill the time from when I start to where I really start. There is I start and then I really start point. On the street, Pew Street. With my past show, it worked, but I need to research good. I mean, other shows which have high energy, they would go there and pull out their limo, we call, large impressive metal object, boom, and get attention with height and voice and loud shouting and jokes. And there were a lot of techniques you can use to make people stop, actually, but this limo thing is very good and it's working. If you have chosen the right space and the right time, then it's more or less easy for you. So in the evening, in summer, on a crowded place, you will have it easier than in autumn when it's a little start to be windy and cold. On the same space, same space, same time will be different. Because people hanging out, it's Saturday evening, woo, it's before going to the restaurant maybe, or afterwards, and you would like to have a nice time with your friends and partners. When I research the space, I would start with, is this the right space for me? Do I feel it? Can I feel, this will gonna work? I did a lot of mistake and it didn't work. So you will feel it. The show we had was not a show that could stop people when they are in a certain rush. So we already need people to have a slow pace of walking. And also, I feel like if you want to busk, you need to learn to scan the city. The city, but also the weather. and the architecture, the flow of the people, and also what is actually interfering in this space. Are there loud restaurants? Is there a church? Are there other buskers? Is there a street? Other interference which might distract your audience and lead them somewhere else. So if it's the wrong time and people are still on the rush to go somewhere, then you will have to fight and be loud to stop them. So you have to give them a reason to stop and make people stop. That's a hard job.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a definitely different context if they're already there for you, and versus if they're not there for you. But I have this experience where we were playing and we had a festival performance in a certain place and certain time, and there were certain people that came there to see us, but there were tons of people that would stop also. So I find this always very interesting as well, and I think it also depends on the show, would they stop or not? Because for some shows they wouldn't stop, for some shows they would stop.
Because and we are here back on to the point of why do they stop?
Yeah, why?
Yeah, why? Because if they're curious. If they're not curious, they will go. And this is one secret trick.
Right.
To keep people attracted to your performance, you need to give them secret of the secret. They stop because they want to discover the unknown. What's going to happen? Okay, I need to stay 5 minutes more because what's going to happen? Because there is a shop, a restaurant, something to buy, other friends, other performances around, and they need to be curious. Boom, 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 all the time. It's like you give a horse carrots. One. Yeah, and because of the internet and this swiping around and changing, from Facebook to Instagram to Twitter, blah, 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 TikTok, you need to give them more and more and more moments where they can be curious or be attracted by your show, because they have a very short time of concentration.
Right. The attention span.
Yeah, it's limited.
Limited, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, wow. Yeah, interesting. So I feel like I'm a little bit already more competent in if I wanted to make my own street theater.
You sure?
I feel I understood a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I rarely think about the quality of a show that is linked to curiosity. I think more of the quality of a show in terms of in terms of a level of an idea of and whether you're interested in it or not, it's your choice. But I guess there is a way to manipulate a little bit. And
street theater is all about manipulation of the audience.
Right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Because we have this deal that if we go to a theater house, we somehow trust when we buy a ticket that the show will be good. Boom. And then we have this deal that we sit down, we in silence and we watch it till the end, and then we go, if we hate it, okay. But we stand up and leave the theater house if we don't like a show. Out there, it's really easy. You have no doors. You can walk away, walk off in every second. There is no deal between the audience and the performer that you should be nice and start from the beginning to the end. You should watch from the beginning to the end. So it's not only about curiosity, it's about trust.
Yeah, I find this amazing that at some point, somewhere people realize that you can pay for a theater in advance. So because it's another great trick. Like if you pay for something in advance, then you rather stay till the end because it's your money. And there is this that is, I find, very important. Whereas if you haven't paid, if you can still decide if to pay, then if you don't like it, you don't pay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And sometimes they pay even though they like it. Yeah.
Cool. Good. So tell me a little bit more about okay, so what is there to learn? So I'm curious. So so you tell me a little bit of what the street theater is, or what the life of what the performance paradigm is, but what is it to learn? So for example, if I would want to learn it, what are the skills that I need to learn if I want to be like you, for example?
Okay. Many. Many. So first of all, you need some ability of something. I mean, you need to. There are no limits of what you can present, but you need to have something to present. This is the first thing. You need to play music or do jokes, comedy, magic, dance, theater, word rap, something. Then you need to have something. And you need to be brave. Because it will hurt. Yes. In the beginning, it will hurt. It's a hard business. It's not for people who are used to be loved from the first moment on. So you need to sometimes walk the valley of tears to come to the nice beach. It's something like, it's hard. So working on the street, it's really hard, and you need to suffer a little bit, I think, and you need to be sure that it will stop at some time, at some moment. This is it. Then you need to be focused. You need to be a business person. You need to know how to use social media, website. You need to how to cut the video. You need to how to write about art. You need to learn what I told before about how a public space is working. So you need to detect it. You need to know how to structure a show. You need to know how to talk to people, to maintain all your techniques, your technique. You need to know to cut the music. You need to know what else. You need to be able to coordinate your tour and to be in the right place at the right time. Sometimes for people it's not so easy. You need to be fine to travel a lot and don't see your family and friends maybe for a long time period. Just to sleep wherever they offer you. And you need to be a social person, I feel like, because this whole street theater and busking scene is very social. So this is one thing what I liked. People are super connected to each other. So if I talk to you on a festival, the next day I will get an invitation to be friends on one of the social networks. So we are really good connectors. And you need to be a good networker to survive there. You need to have a certain understanding to how all this works and is intertwined to each other. And you need to have the ability to sell your product. Yeah.
Interesting. Just think how many how little we talk about art. It is very,
yeah,
it is
yeah.
very
It's
thing.
because and to survive in this jungle, it's you need to have all this ability. The art is there. The art for me is the art of communication. I think I learned how to communicate with all kinds of people, or very fast to feel or to scan who is this person, where are his personal borders in the sense of how close can I come, how far can I go with my jokes, and what can I actually ask from this person and what will I get and not. And the ability also to find a door to their soul, because I want to touch him. I want to touch him or her. This is the art of communication and of relationship, and then the art is then in the rehearsing moment when I do the show. Yes, this is the moment where the art comes. But I think it's a little bit different to, let's say, other theater companies. They perform one show, let's say, 15 times, and then we focus on the next.
Right.
But with the last show, I was touring 7 years, and this is because of I would love to have more different performances, but in this system, I feel like I would get a burnout if I need to
Always create something new.
Create something new and then promote it, and create something new and promote it, without having this net of, okay, I already got the money to produce it, and I know my work is already paid, and now the fun comes. For me, the work is I have fun, and then the money comes. Hopefully. So
Yeah, I mean, I can relate to
Yeah.
that. We rarely produce. We mostly tour, and yeah, it's a lot of work, as you say. It's a lot of work, and yeah, interesting what you say, because yeah, within the theater world, or in my case, like avant-garde contemporary dance. Yeah, I would say it's. I don't know even how can I say it properly, but it seems like there is a pathway to go. Like there is a pathway to follow, and I almost feel like if you don't belong in certain circles, then it's like you cannot cross the bridge. Ever. I wonder if you experience something like this in street theater world. Like, is there also a certain networks that you have to get in, or is more on personal basis always? Because, like, for example, I don't know, in contemporary dance, there are some boosters. There are boosting networks. So, for example, if I ever get a chance to be a part of this and this network, then immediately I'm taking steps to be in this and this festival.
Oh, yeah.
So those things exist. So I'm wondering if you have something like this in your field, and if yes, then have you ever been able to be a part of something like this? Did it accelerate your career in any way?
Yeah, I think we have this boosting thing, and it's the network itself. So I got jobs because people recommended me, and I recommend people. And if I recommend people, they recommend me.
Yeah, but that's still a very personal thing. So,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about, like, they're literally like in contemporary world, like networks of festivals that they just exchange artists between themselves.
Yeah. And we have certain festivals when you perform there, It's on like a stamp, like, okay, this is good. Yeah, we have it.
Quality control.
Quality control, yes.
Okay.
So you want to be on the program of this festival, and then for the next year, you have better chances to be in the program in other festivals. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
interesting.
Yes.
So it's still a bit different. With this we also have, but it's still a little bit different. So okay.
Yeah.
Because, for example, if I were now to create a festival for street theater, I probably would. I understand the mechanic behind it. Like, I probably would get in touch also with some other festival somewhere in some other country. I probably would apply for some European money, and then probably we'll create like a network like this, and then we will grow this network over and over and over again, and then we would have like one of those booster networks, so that the artists can travel within this one network. But then it creates like exclusivity for those artists who are not part of it.
And it's alright for some organizers have more than one festival, and then they create a certain selection. But I feel this is like really, I don't like this.
I also don't like this because
it's a kind of, art.
It's exclusivity.
It's taste. And also, and this game I can't play. If you play then, we are so good friends. Do you book me on all your festival?
Okay, we'll cut this one.
No, really. I feel like art is a taste, and you should give people a chance, and you should also give the audience a big variety of genres and forms and styles. So there are certain festivals which already understood that their position within the industry, and they try to program as broad and with a huge variety of genres. Yes.
I'm just wondering if a street theater, you think it's on the rise or it's steady? Is it evolving? Is it developing? Is it becoming something new? Is it growing? Or is it shrinking? Or is it staying the same?
Interesting. Interesting. I don't know. If you would have asked me this in 2019, I would probably give you a different answer than now.
Right.
Because...
So as for 2019, let's cancel 2020.
But it's kind of interesting to talk about street theater in 2024 or 25, because I feel that this global situation can boost the outdoor arts enormous, because everything needs to happen outdoors the next years, or big things need to happen outdoors. So there is a chance that art will more and more be presented in the public spaces, or in spaces in general. Outdoor spaces in general. It must not be a public space. In 2019, back in 2019, I would say, I would have said that you can't talk about street theater in general. So there are a lot of genres that I would count into street theater. And each one is having its own development. I feel what's really on the rise, it's the artsy-fartsy public space interventions. Like artsy-fartsy productions in public space. I mean artsy-fartsy...
art installations.
Artsy-fartsy. I mean, when when people who are not actually trained in busking or street theater starting to work in public space. This, I mean, with artsy-fartsy, this is things that are curated, funded, and programmed in big arts festivals. People who work in public space with performances, who studied some kind of design or dance or circus in university, something like this.
So people who are not ready to work in the street because they don't have enough experience.
Yeah, but for them it doesn't matter because they are in a secured environment of an arts festival. So they have a different audience.
So they're ignoring all the things that we were mentioning before.
Basically, yes.
So establishing their own stage and
basically they have
catching
no idea.
the attention of people. Yeah,
they have no idea.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, they have basically no idea about this knowledge. When I was studying in university in Tilburg, I talked to one of my professors about the pace and the flow of the passerbyers in a city. He was like, what? What are you researching? What are you knowing actually? This is really, I'm really curious about that. Because you can see it. If you have a little knowledge about scanning a public space of where to place your performance and how to create a performance and all these leaders, then you can easily detect if a artistic group or performance you see in public space is really made to be outdoors or just they show it outdoors.
It's interesting. It's an interesting conversation, especially in the context of the Vienna Summer Festival that is again gonna happen. We don't have to discuss it at all, but it's also the kind of question that probably the organizers of the festivals would have to ask themselves, or should, or like what is actually working in the public space, what isn't, and why is. I think it's really, really interesting.
You're talking about Kultursommer.
I was talking about any summer festival, but now we have now we're gonna have this Kultursommer again. So,
but Kultursommer, it's not I would never say that this is something it's just presented in the public space, but it's
not street theater. No.
Yeah. Never. Okay. Never, because they have the stages. It's fenced. It's.
So when is there's a stage, it's not anymore street theater? How is it?
If there is a stage, if it's not street theater.
That's a curious question, isn't it? Maybe what kind of stage?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe when there are walls there built for you that are artificial, and you don't have to create your own walls. Maybe then it is. I'm just wondering.
I try to. Yeah. I would say it's not street theater when you haven't brought your own scenery, when there is a stage built, a closed stage, Guckkasten stage, like with the open fourth wall but closed 3 walls, light and the roof. It's not street theater. For me personally, it's not street theater. You can have a stage, you can have a platform to stand on, you can bring whatever scenery to any kind of space. But if you have this class where you can have like just concerts or like cultural traditional dance performances on it, then it's not just because it's shown in public space, it's art. It's like theater in public space. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so tell me, maybe the last thing, tell me a little bit about your initiative with the show salon. I don't know, my brain is super fried. When there's one word I cannot remember, show salon.
Show salon, yeah.
So tell me about show salon a bit.
Show salon. Because I'm a trained theater teacher, I'm into giving workshops and teaching other people theater and dance. I did it for 10 years, something like this. I teach theater and conduct improvisation and dance improvisation and whatever. So I'm used to create like educational structure over a long time period for my students. But I stopped because I got tired of teaching and I couldn't give my students what I felt they should get from me as a teacher. And I think 4 years ago, I had the idea of, wow, it would be so cool to have a school for street theater. So people don't have to go the hard way through rough times to be disappointed and have fear and basically I wished that there would be some kind of institution that could help young talented people to have it easier to enter this industry. It was just an idea, and then I asked one of my colleagues to come to Vienna for a performance to be my outside eye. And I knew him from festivals a little bit, and there we could connect with each other differently. And I told him about this idea of having a schoolish thing for street theater, and he said, "Oh, cool! This touches me. This is super cool. I have the project. It's already there. It's called the Show Salon. I would like to. This is now it's just a web page, but I would like to give online coaching and directing, like I do it with you." And I started it, but yeah, can you imagine that we just step in this idea of the show salon and we create this school, or we will like think of how can it look like, and was let's do that. And then another guy, I don't know how I don't know why or how, but we ended up being 3 people. One in Freiburg, one in Salzburg, and me in Vienna. And we thought about, okay, let's create something. And the first thing we created was a 2-week intense masterclass. So we invited students to Vienna. We organized this huge space. And we worked 1 year, really 1 year, to create the content for this 2-week masterclass. So basically we said and we researched, okay, what can we teach and how can we teach it? So the students can understand and take the most out of it. What was quite, for me, an interesting work too, because if you just do and you do and you do and you do and you learn by doing it, and in one moment you need to think, why do I do this in this specific moment? And I don't know if it made me a better performer, but it made me understand certain mechanics. And I made connections to things that I never did. Yeah.
So that's very, I mean, in terms of teaching, is always like in dance is very clear. Like once you start to analyze what you do, you're better at doing it.
Yeah.
Obviously. And I think it's similar, but I'm kind of curious if you tell me like where does it take place and is there gonna be the next one?
Yeah.
And is it the intensive format now or you develop further? How is it?
Yeah. We planned 2020 a masterclass in Freiburg. Everything was done. We reworked the whole content, blah blah blah, and then we had to. First, we thought we need to postpone it to October, and then we realized, okay, 2-week intense workshop will not gonna happen the next years. Even, and also our target group has no money right now to pay such a long course and also the traveling, everything that they need to afford. So what we did is, and I hope you can link it, we worked on an app. And it's called Wisdom from the Pitch. And basically it means that we asked around 100 friends and colleagues from all over the world to send over a short video where they explain us one wisdom, where they talk about one wisdom, one thing. We asked them, what would you tell you now, your younger self? And we got 100 different answers, and we put it together in an app. And so it's like working a little bit like, like Tinder. You swipe, and then at some moment randomly it stops, and then you get this video from this performer. So it's the first knowledge-based app for street theater ever, and it's for free. So you can just like, if you're bored and Netflix doesn't give you something.
Yeah, interesting. I will definitely check it out.
You can swipe it, and it's really fun. And then we thought, okay, we planned also for 2020 a 3-day seminar. The idea is that we connect to festivals. So during festivals, maybe not, but before a festival, so people can come 3 days before the festival and can take part. Mm-hmm. Or there is a fair where people present their art, and the bookers and organizers come to see the shows. And the guy who is organizing this is an open-minded person, and I was on a committee on a fair to select the program, and there I took the chance to talk to a lot of people, and he was immediately on fire to invite us to his fair. So during the fair, performer and non-performer can come, and they can take a 3-day seminar with us.
So it's like a traveling school.
It's a traveling school, yes. It's a traveling school. We are not based nowhere because we want to give people opportunity to have it easy to access. We did it in Vienna, and but it's quite far for people from Switzerland, France, or Germany. So south of Germany, southwest. So we said, okay, let's go to Freiburg. So people have it easier from Switzerland or Germany to come. And now we started the online thing. But we're developing our skills in our PR skills and marketing skills to sell such things. This is a really new territory for us. So yeah.
Cool, really exciting. Like I'm also trying these things out myself as well, but it's a completely, like there's so many skills, so many new skills with technology that come into our art making profession that I find it overwhelming often. Yeah.
And also I feel like it was so funny. We three, so Julian, Marcus and me, we are live performer. So we are used to get applause. And then we did this app, we sent it out to the world, and then it was like, And then we had like a chat. And I was like, I feel something is missing. I feel sad. I don't know. It feels like, ooh. And then once I think Julian said, or Marcus said, hey, yeah, we should maybe give us a random loud applause because we need it. Yeah. Yeah. So also this is for this online course. I mean, yeah, nice thing, but it's,
yeah, it doesn't give you this indirect feedback.
no, it's
from
not
energy.
as satisfying as doing it live. Yeah.
Okay, and maybe last thing. So
Yeah.
you now transition to cultural management. Yeah, tell me where people can find you and what do you do as a bum bum bim bum bum
Bum bum bum.
bim bim bum. How is
I-
it called?
Make it bam.
Make it bam.
Make it bam. Yeah. I felt like I'm now old enough to and have a lot of experiences, like 22 years. I made a lot of mistakes and I made a lot of progress, and I would like to share this with other people. And I feel like now I'm confident enough to offer that. I was thinking on offering this artistic consulting and creative consulting before, but I was not ready. And now I feel I'm ready to offer my help. So if you have a creative chaos in your mind and you need someone to help to narrow it down, I can help you. Or if you search for a specific solution for your performance, or if you are a newbie in writing fundings or writing about your art in general, because I felt this is super hard to do it, also for myself. If you need an outside eye, especially for kids and youth theater, for dance, performance, circus, and street theater, I can help you. For classic indoor theater, probably not. Classroom theater also, I can also offer.
I'm sure you can be of any kind of,
Yeah,
but it's different
yeah,
mechanic, right?
Yeah, it's different. And yeah, I don't like to sit indoors so much. But yeah. Yeah, so for this kind of, or site-specific theater or theater in public spaces, or if you are an indoor theater maker or indoor dance maker and you want to make the jump to perform in public space, I recommend you to ask me or really any other person who is like experienced in working in public space, because secret. If you want to apply to Kunst im öffentlichen Raum, you need to have a certain understanding of the public space and how a public space works and how you can place your work in the public space, because the people there, they have this understanding and they want you to have it too when you apply. Because I talked to her some years ago during my times in university, because I was curious how they deal in Vienna with this chœur and the arts in public space. And she said, people need to gain more knowledge about performing in the public space. And they often find that there is a lack of understanding. Not that there is a lack of artistic understanding, but how to translate it to the public space.
Yeah, the specificity of
So
street.
Yeah, and when I had now this break of being on tour, I felt like, the idea came back to offer my help, and it felt like cool. But also I feel like, is it the right time to offer this in times where
I think it's the right time to create a portfolio, to create an offer and to, you know, be clear what you stand for.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So I will link it also, and I have to be honest, I already have an experience working with you, and it was great.
Thank you.
So I can recommend.
Yes.